Hello, everyone. My name is Renetta Gunn Stevens. I am the CEO of Sophisticated Press. I like to say that CEO stands for Chief Encouraging Officer. And I am going to be talking to you today about picking back up your book. That's right. It is time to pick back up your book. If this is your first time tuning in to our TikTok live or one of our live videos, I want to let you know that we are a community that help authors to understand the book business and understand the business of books. And so today I'm going to be talking to you about picking back up your books. I'm going to give you 3 steps on things that you can do to pick back up your book. Because guess what? There is still more for you to do with your book, and I don't want you to be one of those authors who have finally completed the goal of publishing your book, and now you're stuck. Now you don't have any activity. Now you don't have any impact, and of course, now you don't have income, and that is not how we want to leave you. And so, do me a favor when you come in, if you can just let me know what state you are calling or you're tuning in from so I can shout you out. If you have a book, put it in the comments so we can support you and people on the replay and the clips can support you. But we're going to dive right into our lesson today, and it is called Pick Back Up Your Books. Also, it's totally free to just click the screen and send hearts, right? So make sure you're clicking the screen and sending your hearts. Make sure if you have any questions, put them in the comments. We'll be happy to answer your questions. And then if you really like the information that we are providing, please give us gifts. And that will really help us to continue to bring you informative lessons about the book business. So let's start, right? So there was a time when you was writing your book, you had so much fire, you had so much excitement, you was like really excited about completing your book, and now the book is just sitting on the desk. The book is just sitting in your book, on your bookshelf. The book is kind of just like collecting dust. And I'm here today to tell you that it is time to pick back up your book. It is time to pick back up your book. In fact, I'm going to actually give you 30 seconds to go run and get your book, because I want you to be holding your book while we're doing this live. I want you, if you can't grab your book, I want you to bring it up on Amazon or bring it up on your website so you can at least be looking at your book while we're talking about picking back up your book. Because today we're going to help you pick back up your book and begin to create the influence and impact and community around your book, okay? It's time to pick it up. And it's time to fall back in love with your book. And it's time to start marketing the way that it requires. I tell people all the time, a book is like a baby. You take care of your baby until one day you hope your baby take care of you when you get older and don't put you in a nursing home, right? Like, we take care of our babies and hopefully they'll return the favor one day. And that is how a book is. You're going to take care of your book. You're going to market your book until one day your book is going to be able to take care of you. And if you don't have a book, that's easy. DM us and Sophisticated Press can help you start your book. So the first step that you're going to do to pick back up your book, welcome everyone. Make sure you're hitting the screen. Make sure that you are tapping. That's totally free to do by sending some love. Make sure you let us know what state you're tuning in from. Also, if you have any questions, let us know your questions. So you're going to reconnect with your why. There was a reason why you published your book, right? Why did you start the book in the first place? It wasn't for money. It wasn't for fame, but it was for a person that you wanted to help, or it was for a problem that you wanted to solve. It was for a legacy that you wanted to leave, right? And so I need you to go back and even write down, why did I start the book in the first place? Why did I write the book? I want you to read your first chapter again. And I want you to remember the feeling that you felt when you read your first chapter. I want you to remember the feeling that you had when you received your author's copy in the mail. I want you to remember, man, this is why I wrote my book. This is why I wrote my book. I want you to remember that. And I want you to unbury it. Hello, Marinette. Hello. I want you to remember, why did you write the book? And I want you to pick back up the book, and I want you to begin to fall back in love with the book. And I want you, for the first step, which is reconnecting with your why, is to write down your why in one sentence. And I want you to write down your why in one sentence why you wrote the book, and I want you to post it on a Post-it note, something like this. And I want you to look at that why every day. This is why I wrote the book. This is why I wrote the book. Right? So that is what you're going to do. Your first step is reconnecting back with your why. Right? So then the next step, number 2, I want you to fall in love with your reader. I want you to fall in love with your reader. I want you to stop thinking about sales. I want you to start thinking about the person who needs your message, right? Yes, Marinette, I am back in town. We just had a storm and tornado, so all of the power is down except for today in my office. So absolutely, I am back in town. Sophisticated Press is back in the office. However, we are experiencing a tornado from yesterday, so just getting back into the groove of things. So I want you to stop thinking about the sales. I want you to stop thinking about the person who needs I want you to stop thinking about the sales and start thinking about the person who needs your message, who needs your entertainment that you have in the book, who needs the lessons inside of the book, right? I want you to picture them. I want you to name them. I want you to think about what are they struggling with and what keeps them up at night, and how your book is going to change their life. I want you to think about that. How is my book going to change the reader's life? Whether that's entertainment, education, whether that's coloring and journaling and relieving stress. I want you to think about what your book is going to do for the reader. And when you love your reader, and you're not just one and doneing your reader, your marketing stops feeling like work and it begins to feel like service. I'll say that again. When you really think about the reader and what they're going to receive from reading your book, your marketing stops feeling like work and it begins to feel like service. So here's the action step for that. I want you to write a letter to your ideal reader and tell them why you wrote the book for them. I want you to actually write a letter to your ideal reader and tell them why you wrote the book for them. This is going to help you understand that it's not about you, it's about the reader. It's not about you, it is about the reader, right? And when you understand that there is someone in the world waiting for your expertise to show up, waiting for your genius to show up, waiting for your leadership to show up, waiting for your creativities to show up, you will no longer be all in your feelings about how many followers you have. Do you have the right outfit on to go live and talk about your book? You'll forget about all of that because you'll be seeing that it's not about me. It's about the reader. Right? Number 3. Step number 3 on picking back up your book. You're going to start small and you're going to stay consistent. You don't need a massive relaunching of the book, right? You just need to begin with posting one post a day, one email a week, one conversation with one person who needs your book, right? This is for the authors who already have a book in the marketplace. You're going to just start over and just say, you know what? I'm going to pick up where I left off. I'm going to start marketing my book. I'm going to put it on the platforms that it needs to be put on, which is your Amazon, your Barnes and Nobles, your TikTok shops, all of those good things. And you're going to just start it with just one post a day. Today, post about your book. Send out an email to the people who have purchased the books already and send a thank you to them. Ask them what other books would they like to see from your brand, right? Consistency beats intensity every time. And that's a lesson I had to learn, because I'm a very intense person. And when you're just so intense, you will experience burnout. So you want to kind of switch from intensity to consistency. Because when you're just going so hard, that's good, but then you also can have kind of like a burnout. You want to post quotes from your book. And this doesn't matter the genre of the book. It can be a children's book. It can be a young adult book. It can be a self-help book, right? It can be all of the things. I want you to just post a quote from your book. Post a page from your book. Share a behind the scene moment. Record a video of you reading your book, right? Just fall in love with the fact that out of 85% of the population that wanted to write a book, you are a part of the 5% that follow through. I want you to celebrate that. And I want you to not look at that as something small any longer, right? And I want you to pick one platform and post one thing about your book today. I want you to pick one platform and post about your book today, right? So let's go back over the steps. We're going to go back over the steps of picking back up your book. You're going to reconnect back with your why. And your action item for today is you're going to write down your why in one sentence, and you're going to post it on a Post-it note where you can see it every day. Okay? The second step to picking back up your book is you're going to fall in love with your reader, because it's not about you. It's not about the sales. It's not about any of that, even though we do want you to be profitable, and we're going to make sure that you are profitable. But I want you to first think about service before you think about sales. And your action item for that is you're going to write an ideal letter to your reader and tell them why you wrote this book for them. That way you have an actual person that you're thinking about who is waiting for you to show up every day with your book. And then number 3, I want you to start small and stay consistent. I want you to switch from intensity and go to consistency. And I want you to pick one platform today and post one thing about your book today. All right? That's what I want you to do. Your book is not dead. Listen to me. Your book is not dead. It is waiting for you to pick it back up. Pick it back up. Fall in love with it again. Then tell the world about it. Your message, your creativity, your genius is too important to stay hidden. All right? And I want you to know that you're not in this alone. But we have to begin to be around like-minded individuals, authors, book clubs, things like that. You can even create a book club around your book. I know you all, for those who are coming in, if you follow Marinette, who's in the comments now, she has a book series that you can follow. She's a very creative author. And so you want to just begin to support one another. If you see a fellow author and they have a book, purchase their book and then send them the link so they can purchase your book. You want to begin to cross market. You want to take your book to vendor events. You want to do whatever you need to do to let the world know that you have a book available, right? And I want you all, if you are here and you have a book, I want you to put it in the comments. Some people don't like you to market while they're on their platforms, Sophisticated Press wants you to market on our platform. If you have a book and you're watching this, we want you, even if this is on the replay, we want you to promote your book. We want you to put the name of your book in our comments. We want you to have questions. We want you to feel like you are really, let's see, the TikTok is giving me a flash goal. I need 3 gifters to send love on my live. And I'm going to pin this here. Okay, great. So we want you to market. We want you to get this little thing right here. That's great. It was bothering me, y'all. We want you to market your book. We want you to I want you to get comfortable telling about your book. Like I said, I know sometimes people be like, oh, don't market in my life. That's not the culture of Sophisticated Press. We want you to market your products, your services. We want you to market your brand. We want you to get used to celebrating yourself and your accomplishments. And I want you to understand that being an author is a big thing, because not everyone have the courage to do it. Okay? So I want you to do that. Are there any questions for me today? As a international and celebrity publisher, I want to make sure that you have access to answer your questions, to get that mentorship without cost. And the best way to do that is on my TikTok lives, because after that, when we talk outside of TikTok live, there is a coaching fee. So if you have any questions now about the book publishing process, now is a great time for you to ask that question. If you have any friends that are author or want to be an author, or you know your friend have a story that they need to tell, tag them under this live so they can come in and, you know, be able to just start introducing themselves into a community of authors and publishers and fellow entrepreneurs. Because when you become an author, you actually do become an entrepreneur at the same time. And we do see a lot of people who say, well, I'm not in it for the money and things like that. That's just because they don't understand that as an author, they actually are still an entrepreneur. So the money should not be priority. However, it should be a priority. It shouldn't be the first priority, but it should be one of the priorities of you publishing a book, where you are getting compensation for your intellectual property and for your genius, right? You wanna get paid for that. So, is there any questions for me today? Is there any questions for me today? Alrighty, if there are no questions, listen, I want to definitely thank you so much for tuning in to Sophisticated Press Live. I surely will call you as soon as I get off this live, okay, hun? I want to thank you so much for tuning in to Sophisticated Press Live. And I want you to know that every business should have a book, and every book is a business. The business field in the business marketplace is a billion-dollar marketplace. It's a multi-billion-dollar field, and you have the ability to get some of that market share. And so I want you to not think of it as a small thing, but I want you to definitely make sure that you are getting some of that market share in your brand and into your bank accounts. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Till we meet again, if you have any questions, you can call us at 630-755-5580. You can also, go check Marinette Parkinson series on Amazon, Robbie and Wormy. It is such a fun book. It is such a fun book that you should add to your personal library for your little ones at home. If you are a teacher or administrator, it's actually a great book for you to add to your classrooms and all of the good things like that. All right. Well, thank you all so much. I look forward to bringing our next lesson soon, and have a